Welcome to the LITEWORK channel. Go by the name of LITEWORK, where I shine the light, do the work 100% of the time. Y'all, we're going to get into this mini-series called the God series. I'm excited to talk about this one, about knowing thyself. Knowing who you are as a person, as a human life. So we're going to get into about flesh and spirit, spirit and flesh, those two that make up the one of you. And also, flesh and spirit is the root of all our problems of here on this planet. It is the root of all our problems. I know many people talking about money is the root of all evil. No, it's not. Spirit and flesh is the root of all our problems here on this planet. So I'm going to share something with y'all, which is the acronym Save, Heal, and Restore Empowerment. SHARE. Save, Heal, and Restore Empowerment. Alright, y'all, we're going to dig right on into it. I'm going to start off with the flesh. To talk about the flesh. And the flesh does a lot of things, y'all. The flesh do a lot of things, you know. So first we're going to say it could be trained, it could be taught, it could be tricked, it could be molded, it could be deceived, and it would do what we call sin. And the components of sinning is 7 things that make up the components of sin, because that's all this flesh is want to do. So those 7 things are called lust, greed, gluttony, sloth, anger, envy, and pride. Okay, lust is the intense desire or need. Greed is the selfish desire to have more. Gluttony is excess in eating or drinking. Sloth is the lack of effort, with the another word for being lazy. Anger is being vengeful with wrath. Envy is jealousy towards happiness of others. Jealousy toward the happiness of others. That's envy. The last one is pride. An inflated state of being proud. Alright? So we got to remember those things that the flesh always want to do. That's the only thing the flesh want to do. Alright? Remember that. Okay? The spirit is of the Most High. Is of the Most High God. The spirit is what lives and dwells within this flesh, within this body. That spirit. It lives in man, woman, or child. That's the spirit. It lives within this flesh. Spirit is of the higher self. That is the higher self of you. Okay? And that the flesh is of the lower self. The lower caliber. That's of the, we're gonna say that again, or the lower self. You ever heard, okay, we're gonna go back to spirit. You ever heard people say, go with your first thought? You know, man, you know, I was thinking about that. I should have turned that way. I should have did that. I was thinking about that. Well, that was spirit, y'all. Spirit be trying to get your attention, and trying to, you know, spirit be trying to get you to do the right thing. You know, think about what you about to do before you do it. That'd be spirit. And so the flesh will always try to step in and question or justify, make rational with the spirit, about the spirit. If spirit trying to get you to tell you something, then that flesh will say, oh, you know, try to get you to think, no, you know, do this or do that. You know, they be going back and forth. Okay? Remember that. And go back and forth. So, because the flesh is of the world, it always want to do worldly things. It was born into this world. The spirit was as of a higher self, which is God. It's not born into this world. This flesh comes through your mother's womb, and you born into this world. Flesh comes through that portal or through the womb. Gonna dive deep into that too. Not right now. Okay. So when you were first born in the flesh, you didn't know anything about no such thing as right or wrong. You didn't know bad or evil or anything about this world. What man had created when you was in your mother's womb. But while you was in your mother's womb, you know, people was already talking to you and preparing you for your downfall. Was already preparing you for your downfall. They were putting names on you while you were still in the womb. I've seen people put headphones on the mother's belly, you know, teaching them songs and telling them, you know, just teaching them little things. It could be alphabet. It could be like I say, songs. It could be anything. But you was already preparing that life for its downfall while it was in his mother's womb, and you haven't even seen the flesh yet. So it was already corrupt in spirit. The spirit already came with gifts, y'all. Remember that. The spirit already was equipped with gifts. That's key too. Alright. So your parents' only job was to give spirit a so-called pair of jeans. Your parents' job was to give spirit a so-called pair of jeans, which was the covering of this of the spirit. It was to give this spirit a suit, and that suit is made up of the flesh is made up of your parents, your mother and your father genes. They on the job and was to give them the genes, which is an identifier. You know, that identifier, it is that physical makeup, so to speak. And that identifier is just identify you as the flesh of where you come from. Say it again. Your parents gave you them genes to identify the flesh of where you came from, because you look like them. So you can always ask somebody and they'll say that he looked like this person, or you know, you was given a name. I'm gonna go back and say, yeah, you was given this flesh a name to identify where you come from, what lineage you come from, what tribe you come from. It don't identify that spirit. The spirit of the Most High. That's a whole nother thing. Your parents can't give you that spirit. God can give you that spirit, and we're gonna touch on that too, on that subject for people who get confused on another subject that I'm gonna dive deeper into. So remember that it's just to identify for who you belong to in the physical. It's only a covering. It's just a spacesuit for us to live out here in space. If we didn't have this covering, if we didn't have this covering of this spacesuit, our flesh Our spirit, my bad, our spirit would just be out here floating around. Our spirit just be out here floating around. I wouldn't, if we didn't have this spacesuit, I wouldn't be able to identify nobody that I come in contact with. We'll just be all floating around, y'all. So when you looking at somebody, you just identifying that flesh, but it's a spirit inside of each and one of us. All right. So okay, y'all. Now we kind of have an understanding what spirit and flesh is. We're going to talk about they both have an agenda. Yeah, spirit and flesh both has an agenda. When it came into this world, they have an agenda. Spirit, God gave you the Most High a piece of himself, the spirit, to come and do the right thing, which is save humanity and to save this world. Spirit come in this world to be a hero. That's your only objective, is to come in this world as spirit to be a hero with the flesh. Now I'm gonna go into detail about that. I know I just said that the flesh has been corrupted. It has, but God also knew what he was doing when he had to put a suit on him. He had to put a suit on it to cover the spirit, y'all. But your only objective when you come in this world is to save humanity, to save the world as a hero. May sound funny, but I'm gonna tie it all in together to what it is, y'all. Okay. But when the flesh, you come in this world in the flesh, man was corrupting the flesh. Was corrupting the flesh. So they began to, fight with one another. Flesh and spirit is fighting with one another because they both want control. They both want control of what's going on. And which is the real war, my friends. Flesh and spirit is the real war. I don't know what everybody's talking about, what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on within our own country, or what's going on on other continents, or what's going on in the streets. Those are not wars. They are, but the real war is flesh and spirit. The real war is flesh and spirit. So that, my friends, I'm just trying to tell you, I don't even know no other wars. I don't even know what you call it. It ain't no such thing as other wars outside of yourself. The real war is within you. Even if I was to tell you, okay, if somebody was to want to fight or kill me or strike me, if I'm operating in the Most High, which is God, and a person who want to fight or strike me is operating the lower self in the physical, that, my friend, is the same. That's the war. If that person operating in the physical and I'm operating in the spirit of God, that's flesh and spirit. Those are the wars that's going on out here. Who operating in the higher self and who operating in the lower self. Boy, that's deep. So if we was all operating in the higher self, it wouldn't be no chaos. That's the chaos going on. Flesh and spirit is the real chaos, y'all, and confusion. All right? So, that's amongst everybody on earth. Outside of yourself, there is no war. People can talk about anything they want to talk about. I don't even know what they call it. It is the war. It is a war, but it's within you. That's the real war. What's going on? All the other stuff, y'all, is plain distractions. That's all it is. Plain distractions. I'm going to get into the next segment or the next second series in a minute. Like, share, and subscribe. Just the LITEWORK channel, y'all. Peace out.